The alarm screamed through Seoul General Hospital like a dying animal. Red lights strobed across white walls. The doctor's words hung frozen in the electric air. Based on the genetic markers we're seeing. But she never finished. The building shuddered. Somewhere below, glass shattered. Worim's world tilted on its axis. Twins, Norah bleeding, his parents appearing like ghosts from a 3-year silence, and now this. The intercom crackled. Code black, chemical leak, obstetrics floor, immediate evacuation. Norah, 4th floor, obstetrics. Worim ran. Hey besties, I hope you're enjoying your holiday and you're preparing for the year ahead. I have prepared this special story to make your holiday enjoyable. But the question is, will Norah survive the childbirth? What will happen to the twin babies? If you are curious as I am, then like, subscribe, and let's jump into the story right away. The doctor grabbed his arm before he reached the stairwell. Mr. Kim, wait. You need to understand. My fiancé is on the 4th floor. Worim wrenched free, already moving. The genetic markers. The doctor's voice chased him. One of the twins shows the same anatomical variant as you, the same condition. Worim froze mid-step. The words hit harder than the chemical alarm, harder than anything. One twin. His condition. The curse he'd spent his life hating. The difference that had nearly destroyed him, now passed to his unborn child. Which one? His voice came out strangled. We can't determine gender or specifics yet, but the ultrasound clearly shows. Mr. Kim, the evacuation. He was already running. 3 flights of stairs, taking them 2 at a time. The chemical smell hit him on the 3rd floor. Acrid, burning, wrong. His eyes watered. Staff rushed past carrying equipment, patients, chaos. 4th floor. The obstetrics ward was pandemonium. Nurses pushing beds, doctors shouting coordinates, pregnant women crying. Worim shoved through, searching desperately. Norah! Norah Okoro! A nurse grabbed him. Sir, you can't be here. We're evacuating. My fiancé is in here. Room 412. That wing's already sealed off. The leak originated there. No one can... Worim didn't hear the rest. He ran toward the sealed doors, toward the wing glowing red with warning lights. Security tried to stop him. He fought past them with strength he didn't know he had. Room 412. The door was closed. Yellow tape across it. Through the window, he saw Norah on the bed, unconscious, IV lines in her arms, alone. They'd left her. He kicked the door open. The chemical smell was overwhelming here, thick enough to taste. His throat burned. Norah's monitors beeped steadily. She was alive, stable, but trapped in a contaminated room. Norah! He shook her gently. No response. Whatever they'd given her for pain had knocked her out completely. The door slammed open behind him. His father stood there, cloth pressed to his face, eyes wide with something Worim had never seen before. Fear. Worim, don't be insane. They're saying 10 minutes before this floor is completely toxic. Then help me move her. For a heartbeat, his father just stared. 3 years of silence, of disappointment, of shame. Then something shifted in Kim Tae-jin's face. He stepped into the room. Disconnect the monitors. I'll carry her. You clear the path. They worked in synchrony they'd never had before. Worim disconnected lines with shaking hands, while his father, 63 years old, steel magnate, man who'd called his son an embarrassment, lifted Norah like she weighed nothing. She's pregnant, Worim said. Twins. We have to be careful. His father's jaw tightened, but he nodded. Lead. The corridor was nearly empty now, just stragglers. Worim's mother appeared at the stairwell, directing them down. His parents, working together to save the woman carrying their grandchildren. The irony would have been funny if Worim wasn't terrified. 2nd floor. Norah's aunt met them with a gurney. Get her outside. The paramedics are set up across the street. They burst through the hospital doors into December cold and clean air. Wurim's lungs screamed with relief. Paramedics swarmed, taking Norah, checking vitals, shouting medical terms he didn't understand. "She's stable," a paramedic said. "Baby's heartbeats are strong. Whatever medication she's on kept her sedated through the evacuation." Lucky. Lucky. Wurim almost laughed. His legs gave out. He sat hard on the pavement, watching them load Norah into an ambulance, watching his parents stand awkwardly nearby, watching his entire world balance on a knife's edge. His phone rang. Unknown number. He almost didn't answer. "Mr. Kim?" A woman's voice, professional but urgent. "This is Dr. Min from Seoul National Hospital. I'm calling about Dr. Okoro's employment offer. I understand this is terrible timing, but we need her answer by end of business today. The board is finalizing appointments and—" "She's unconscious in an ambulance," Wurim said flatly. "Call back never." He hung up. His mother sat beside him on the cold pavement, not touching, just present. "Your father and I came because we were wrong," she said quietly. 3 years of wrong. We heard about the baby, about Norah, and we realized we'd thrown away our son over fear and shame. We're sorry. One of the twins has my condition." The words felt like stones. "The doctors just told me. One of my children will grow up different, just like me." His mother's hand found his, squeezed hard. "Then we'll love them exactly as they are, the way we should have loved you." Wurim turned to look at her. His mother's face was wet with tears, but her expression was fierce. Behind them, his father stood with Norah's aunt, both watching the ambulance prepare to leave. "Mr. Kim," another voice. Wurim turned to see Minsu's mother running toward him, the boy clinging to her hand. "Thank God. We've been trying to reach Norah for hours. Minsu collapsed at school. He's not responding to anyone but keeps crying for her. The doctors say it's psychological, but—" She stopped, seeing the ambulances, the chaos. Wurim's face. What happened? Before Wurim could answer, Minsu pulled free and ran to him. The 6-year-old crashed into Wurim's legs, sobbing. "Where's Miss Norah? I need Miss Norah." "She's sick, buddy, but she's going to be okay." "No." Minsu's face crumpled. "She's leaving, just like my dad left. Everyone leaves." The boy's words hit like bullets. This child, who'd been silent for 8 months, who'd learned to speak again because of Norah's patient work, was regressing before their eyes. Wurim felt the weight of it. How many lives depended on Norah? How much she carried? His phone rang again. This time, Wurim's assistant. "Sir, I'm so sorry to bother you, but there's an emergency. The Lagos construction permit. There's been a government change. New administration. They're reviewing all foreign-funded projects. If we don't have someone on the ground by tomorrow to meet with officials, they'll revoke our building license. We'll lose the entire Lagos Center." "Tomorrow? That's impossible." "I know, sir, but—" Another call interrupted. The construction manager in Busan. "Mr. Kim, we have a serious problem. The foundation inspection failed. They're saying the ground isn't stable enough for the building we designed. We either need to completely redesign from scratch or abandon this location. I need your decision by end of day." Wurim stood there in the December cold, surrounded by chaos. Norah unconscious, twins, one carrying his condition, his parents reappearing, the Seoul hospital demanding an answer, Minsu regressing, Lagos falling apart, Busan collapsing. Everything they'd built for a year, every dream and plan, crumbling simultaneously. The ambulance started to pull away. Wurim ran after it. "Wait, I need to go with her." A paramedic stopped him. "Family only in the ambulance. You can meet us at the hospital." "I'm her fiancé." "Not legally family yet. I'm sorry." They drove away. Norah disappeared behind tinted windows carrying their twins, one of whom would face the same struggle that had nearly destroyed Wurim. And he couldn't even ride with her. His father appeared beside him. Son, I know we have years to make up for, but right now, you need help. What can we do? Wurim looked at this man who'd called him an embarrassment, who'd suggested he accept loneliness, who'd disappeared for 3 years. What could he possibly offer now? The Lagos project, Wurim heard himself say. It needs someone on the ground tomorrow. Someone with international business experience. Someone who can negotiate with government officials. His father's eyes sharpened. I built steel mills across Southeast Asia. I can handle Nigerian officials. It's Norah's dream, her mother's legacy. If it fails, it will break her. Then it won't fail. Kim Tae-jin pulled out his phone, already dialing. I'll have my jet ready in 2 hours. What else? The Busan Foundation issue. I need to redesign, but I can't leave Norah. Not now. His mother stood. Your father taught you architecture before you could walk. Let him handle the technical redesign. You stay with your family. It felt like a trap. Like accepting help would mean owing them, would mean forgiving 3 years of abandonment. But Minsu was crying. Norah was unconscious, and everything was falling apart. Okay, Wurim said. But we do this my way. Norah's vision stays intact. Her values, her purposes. You're executing our plan, not creating your own. His father actually smiled. Understood. Send me the files. I'll start immediately. The next ambulance arrived, for Minsu. His mother was crying. He collapsed again. Just fell in my arms. Please, Mr. Kim, I don't know what to do. He needs Norah, but she needs rest. How do I help my son? Wurim knelt beside the boy. Minsu's eyes were glazed, his breathing shallow. The psychological regression was becoming physical. Minsu, Wurim said gently. Listen to me. Norah is fighting right now. She's fighting to get better so she can come back to you. But she needs you to fight too. Can you be strong for her? I'm scared, Minsu whispered. Everyone leaves. Not everyone. I'm here. I'm not leaving. Wurim pulled the boy close. And Norah isn't leaving either. She loves you too much. But you have to trust her. Trust that she's coming back. Promise? Wurim thought about the twins, the complications, the uncertainty. But looking at this child's desperate face, he said, I promise. Minsu nodded slowly. His mother loaded him into the ambulance, casting Wurim a grateful look. Alone on the sidewalk, surrounded by the debris of the day, Wurim felt his phone buzz. A text from an unknown number. Mr. Kim, this is Dr. Park. I heard about the evacuation. I'm at St. Mary's Hospital where they took Norah. Come immediately. There's something about the twins you need to know. Something critical. His blood froze. He ran for his car, his parents calling after him, but he couldn't stop. Critical. The word echoed. The genetic markers. The condition. One twin affected. But which one? And what did critical mean? St. Mary's Hospital was across Seoul, 40 minutes in traffic. Wurim made it in 25, running every red light, his mind racing faster than the car. Dr. Park met him in the lobby, her face grave. She's awake, stable. The babies are fine. But Wurim, we need to talk before you see her. Tell me. The genetic testing shows one twin, we believe twin A, the firstborn, has your anatomical condition, but it's more pronounced. Significantly more pronounced. If we don't intervene during development, this child could face complications you never experienced. Intervene how? There are experimental treatments, hormone therapy during pregnancy, surgical options after birth. Nothing guaranteed but possibilities. The question is whether Norah wants to pursue aggressive intervention or let nature take its course. And the other twin? Completely typical anatomy, no signs of the condition. 2 children, one like him, one different. Wurim felt the weight of that difference, the way it would shape their lives. Would they resent each other? Would the typical child be grateful for luck? Would the affected child feel cursed? Does Norah know? Yes. She woke up an hour ago. We told her everything. She's been crying since. Wurim's heart broke. I need to see her. One more thing. Dr. Park's voice dropped. The Seoul National Hospital called. They heard about the pregnancy complications. They're withdrawing their offer. Said they can't risk hiring someone who might need extended medical leave. The final blow. The perfect opportunity. Gone. Not because Norah rejected it, but because they rejected her. For being pregnant. For having complications. For being human. Good. Wurim said savagely. She deserves better than people who see pregnancy as a liability. He pushed past Dr. Park into Nora's room. She sat propped against pillows, both hands on her belly, face wet with tears. When she saw him, she broke. Our baby, she sobbed. One of our babies has... I know. He gathered her carefully, mindful of the IV lines. I know, love, but we'll handle it. Together. What if we make the wrong choice? What if we try intervention and it makes things worse? What if we do nothing and our child suffers? Then we'll face it. Whatever comes. We'll love them both exactly as they are. She pulled back, searching his face. You're not angry? Not disappointed? Disappointed? Norah, I'm terrified. I'm heartbroken. But angry? Never. These are our children. Both of them. Perfect because they're ours. A knock at the door. Nora's aunt entered, then Wurim's parents. The room felt suddenly crowded with history and hope. We heard. Wurim's mother said softly. About the twins. About the condition. We want you both to know. We're here. Whatever you need. Whatever support. We're not leaving again. Norah looked at Wurim, confused. He'd never told her about his parents' arrival, the hospital evacuation, any of it. We have a lot to catch you up on, Wurim said. But first, he turned to his father. Did you book the Lagos flight? Leaving in 3 hours. I'll handle the permits, the officials, everything. Lagos? Nora's voice was small. What's wrong with Lagos? Government change. New permit requirements. We were going to lose the whole project. Her face crumpled again. No. Not my mother's center. We can't. We won't. Wurim squeezed her hand. My father's going. He'll fix it. Norah stared at Kim Tae-jin with exhausted confusion. Your father? The man who disowned you? People change. His father said gruffly. I was wrong. I'm sorry. And I won't let your dream fail. The hospital room fell silent except for the beep of monitors. This impossible convergence of past and future, of family broken and rebuilt, of dreams threatened and defended. Nora's phone rang. Her work line. She answered weakly. Hello? Norah. Her colleague's voice was frantic. Minsu's in the hospital again. He's asking for you. His mother says he won't stop crying. I know you're dealing with your own emergency, but... Which hospital? Seoul General. But Norah, you can't... She hung up. Looked at Wurim with determination cutting through exhaustion. Get me discharged. Now. Absolutely not. You need rest. The babies... Minsu needs me more. Her voice was steel. That little boy has fought so hard to find his voice again. If he's crying for me, I'm going. Dr. Park said, I don't care what she said. Norah tried to sit up, winced. Wurim, I spent 3 years running from everything that mattered. I'm not running anymore. Minsu needs me. I'm going. They stared at each other, both stubborn, both terrified, both refusing to yield. His mother stepped forward. Then we all go. Wurim, get a wheelchair. Norah, keep the IV for now. We'll disconnect at Seoul General. Mr. Kim, call ahead and arrange a private room where both Norah and Minsu can be monitored. Everyone moved at once. Wurim's father on the phone, his mother coordinating with nurses, Norah's aunt gathering belongings. A family operating as a unit. Maybe for the first time. 20 minutes later, they arrived at Seoul General Hospital. The chemical leak was contained, but the building still reeked. Minsu's room was on the second floor, safe from contamination. The boy lay in bed, small and broken, tears streaming silently. His mother sat beside him, helpless. When Norah wheeled into the room, IV pole attached, hospital gown wrinkled, face pale but determined, Minsu's eyes went wide. "Miss Norah?" "Hey, buddy." Her voice cracked. "Sorry I'm late." Minsu sat up, reached for her. Norah wheeled closer, let him climb carefully into her lap, mindful of her IV and her belly. The boy buried his face in her shoulder and sobbed. "I thought you left. Thought you were gone like everyone else." "Never. I'm never leaving you, Minsu. I promise." She sang to him then, soft and low, a Korean lullaby she'd learned from her hospital kids. Her voice was rough with exhaustion and emotion, but beautiful. Minsu's crying gradually quieted, his breathing steadied. Within minutes, he was asleep in her arms. His mother wept silently. "Thank you. Thank you so much." Wurim stood watching this woman he loved, pregnant with twins, one carrying complications, fresh from a chemical evacuation, physically and emotionally shattered, giving everything she had left to comfort a traumatized child. "She's remarkable," his father said quietly beside him. "I know. The baby with the condition. Your child. They'll be remarkable too, because they'll have you both." Wurim looked at his father, this man who'd spent 3 years treating difference as something shameful. "You really believe that?" "I have to. Because if I don't, I'm saying your life wasn't worth living. And son, seeing you now, seeing what you've built, who you've become, I was so catastrophically wrong. You're not broken. You never were. You're just exactly who you were meant to be." Something loosened in Wurim's chest. 3 years of abandonment didn't disappear with words. But it was a start. A nurse appeared. "Ms. Okoro, there's a call for you, from Nigeria. They say it's urgent." Norah looked up from Minsu confused. "Nigeria?" She took the phone carefully, keeping Minsu in her lap. "Hello?" Her face went white. "What? When?" "Oh God. Yes. Yes, I understand. I'll figure something out." She hung up, trembling. Looked at Wurim with devastated eyes. "My mother's house in Lagos. There was a fire last night. Electrical. Everything's gone. Her clothes, her photographs, her recipes, her guitar. Everything I hadn't sorted yet because I was too scared to face it. All of it. Gone." The room felt airless. Nora's last physical connection to her mother, destroyed. Wurim watched her face cycle through shock, grief, anger. "I should have gone back sooner," she whispered. "Should have dealt with it. Now there's nothing left of her. Nothing but memories." "That's not true," Wurim's mother said firmly. "She's in you. In your work. Your music. Your compassion. She's in these children you heal. She's in the center you're building in her honor. She's not gone, Norah. She's everywhere." But Norah was crying too hard to hear. Minsu woke up, confused, started crying in sympathy. The nurse rushed in to check vitals. Wurim's phone rang with another crisis, the Busan contractor with more problems. Everything was falling apart simultaneously. Every pillar of their carefully constructed life crumbling at once. And still, Christmas music played from somewhere down the hospital corridor. Cheerful and oblivious and utterly wrong. Wurim looked around the hospital room, at Norah crying, at Minsu scared, at his parents trying to help, at all the impossible problems converging, and made a decision. "Everyone stop," he said loudly. The room fell silent. "We can't fix everything today. We can't solve every crisis simultaneously. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to breathe. We're going to rest. And tomorrow, we start rebuilding." Together. But Lagos, his father started. We'll be there tomorrow. Busan will be there tomorrow. Nora's mother's memory will be there tomorrow. Tonight, we just survive. He sat on the hospital bed beside Norah, pulled her and Minsu close. His parents stood awkwardly nearby. Nora's aunt found a chair. They sat in that cramped hospital room, a makeshift family forged from crisis, and just breathed. Outside, Seoul glittered with Christmas lights. Inside, they held each other through the darkness, choosing to believe that morning would come. And when it did, they'd face whatever came next. Morning came too quickly. Warren woke slumped in a hospital chair, neck screaming, to find Norah already awake, staring at her belly with haunted eyes. I felt them move, she whispered. Both of them. Distinct movements. Twin A kicked here. She touched her left side. And Twin B responded here. Her right side. They're already communicating. Already different. Warren moved to the bed, placed his hand where hers had been. Waited. Then felt it. A flutter. Then another. Separate and unmistakable. 2 lives. 2 futures. One carrying a condition that had nearly destroyed him. We need to decide, Norah said. About the intervention. Dr. Park says every week we wait limits our options. What do you want to do? I don't know. Her voice rose, waking Minsu, who'd fallen asleep at the foot of the bed. How do I choose? Try experimental treatments that might help or might harm? Or do nothing and watch our child struggle like you did? There's no good answer, Wurim. Only different versions of fear. His phone rang. His father, already at the airport. The Lagos flight leaves in 20 minutes, but son, I need the original permits, the architectural plans, everything. Can you access your office files remotely? Yes, but... And I need a letter of introduction from Norah. Something explaining her mother's connection to this project. The officials need to understand this isn't just foreign investment, it's legacy. Wurim looked at Norah, exhausted and overwhelmed. She can't write anything right now. She just, I'll do it. Norah grabbed her phone with shaking hands. Give me 10 minutes. Norah, no. Your father is flying to Lagos to save my mother's dream. The least I can do is write a damn letter. Her fingers moved across the screen, typing furiously despite the IV in her arm. Besides, if I don't focus on something productive, I'll fall apart completely. She finished and sent the letter just as Dr. Park appeared in the doorway, face grim. Norah, Wurim, we have a problem. The early genetic testing revealed something else. Something I didn't mention yesterday because you'd been through enough. She closed the door, lowered her voice. Twin A, the baby with the condition, there's a chromosomal marker associated with a heart defect. Nothing certain yet, but concerning. We need to do an amniocentesis to confirm. Today. The room tilted. Norah made a sound like a wounded animal. Minsu started crying again, overwhelmed by adult emotions he couldn't understand. How dangerous. Wurim forced the words out. The amniocentesis carries a small risk of miscarriage, less than 1%, but present. However, if there is a heart defect, we need to know immediately. Some require in utero surgery. Others, she paused, others are incompatible with life. Incompatible with life. Medical speak for death, for choosing which baby might survive. No, Norah said flatly. No test. I'm not risking losing them both to find out if one might die anyway. Norah, without information we can't prepare. I said no. She was shaking violently now. I've lost my mother, my home, everything I had of her. I'm not losing these babies. I don't care what the chromosomes say. We're not doing the test. Dr. Park looked at Wurim. He took Norah's hand, faced the doctor. We need time. 24 hours to think. I can give you 12. After that, the window for intervention narrows significantly. She left. The room fell into shocked silence. Minsu climbed into Nora's lap again. Miss Norah, are the babies sick? We don't know, sweetie. Maybe. We're trying to figure it out. When I was sick inside, Minsu said slowly, from the bad things I saw, the medicine didn't help. But your music did. Maybe the babies need music too? Something shifted in Nora's face. She looked at Wurim with sudden clarity. He's right. I've been so focused on medical interventions and tests and fear. I forgot what I know. Music heals. Music reaches places medicine can't. Norah, you can't sing a heart defect away. No, but I can reduce my stress. I can create a peaceful environment for them. I can stop pumping them full of cortisol and fear. She touched her belly. Twin A, Twin B. If you can hear me, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I've been so scared. But starting now, we're doing this differently. No amniocentesis, no invasive tests. Just love and music and faith. That's not medically sound, Wurim said gently. If there's really a heart defect, then we'll deal with it at birth. But I'm not spending the next 6 months terrified, testing, intervening. I'm choosing to trust. Trust them, trust us. Trust that whatever happens, we'll handle it. It was insane, reckless. Every logical part of Wurim's brain screamed to override her, to demand the testing, to control the uncontrollable. But he looked at her face, determined and fierce and finally at peace, and realized she was right. They'd spent a year trying to control his condition, manage it, fix it. Maybe sometimes you just had to surrender to what is. Okay, he said. We trust. His phone rang again. The Busan contractor, voice panicked. Mr. Kim, you need to get here now. The site inspector is threatening to red tag the entire project. Says our foundation design violates new seismic codes implemented last month. If we don't have a solution by end of business today, we're shut down permanently. My father's handling the redesign. He's on a plane to Lagos. Sir, I need you. In person. With solutions. Now. Wurim looked at Norah, at Minsu, at the impossible choice. Stay with his family, or save their dream project. Go, Norah said before he could speak. The center is important. I'm stable. The babies are stable. Go save our work. I can't leave you. You're not leaving. You're fighting for us. There's a difference. She kissed him hard. Go. We'll be here when you get back. So he went. Drove 2 hours to Busan, mind spinning with genetic markers and heart defects and foundation problems. Arrived at the construction site to find complete chaos. The inspector was mid-50s, officious, unmoved by pleading. New codes require deeper pilings for coastal construction. Your current design is 40% insufficient. You either dig deeper or abandon the site. No exceptions. Digging deeper will add 6 months and $3 million to the budget, the contractor argued. The foundation can't absorb that cost. Then find a different location. The inspector turned to leave. Wait. Wurim pulled up the architectural files on his tablet. What if we redistribute the load? Instead of deeper pilings, we add lateral support structures. Essentially create a web foundation that spreads weight across a wider surface area. The inspector frowned. That's unconventional. But not against code. The requirement is stability, not specific methodology. If I can prove this design meets seismic safety standards, will you approve it? You'd need structural engineering calculations, third-party verification, material stress tests. Give me 4 hours. Mr. Kim, that's impossible. 4 hours. If I can't prove it works, we'll abandon the site. But give me the chance to try. The inspector checked his watch, sighed. 4 hours, not a minute more. Wurim called every engineer he knew, called his old professors from university, called international consultants. Worked with desperate focus, designing and calculating and proving. The web foundation was unconventional but brilliant, actually stronger than traditional pilings while using less material and time. 3 hours and 47 minutes later, he presented a complete structural analysis with verification from two independent engineering firms. The inspector reviewed it slowly, finding nothing to reject. "This is highly unusual," he said finally, "but technically compliant, approved, provisionally." Victory. Except Worm's phone had 17 missed calls from Seoul, from Norah's number, from his mother, from the hospital. His hands shook, dialing back. Norah answered, voice strange. "Worm, you need to come back. Now." "What happened?" "The babies are fine, but there's someone here. Someone from Lagos. And what he's telling us, it changes everything." "Who? What are you talking about?" "Just come, please, hurry." He made the 2-hour drive in 90 minutes, terrified. Burst into Nora's hospital room to find a Nigerian man in his 70s sitting beside her bed. Distinguished, gray-haired, wearing traditional Agbada robes. Nora's face was unreadable. "Wurim," she said quietly. "This is Chief Okonkwo. He was my father's business partner. He's been looking for me for 3 years." "Your father?" Wurim's mind reeled. "I thought he left when you were 3. You said you never knew him." "I didn't. Because my mother told me he left. But Chief Okonkwo says..." Her voice broke. "He says my father never left. He died. In a car accident when I was 3. And my mother never told me, because it was too painful." The old man leaned forward. "Your father, Chibweze Okoro, was my closest friend. We built a trading company together. When he died, I tried to help your mother financially, but she refused. Too proud. She raised you alone, told you he'd abandoned you rather than admit he'd died. I respected her wishes and stayed away. But when I heard you were in Lagos searching for your mother's property, I knew I had to find you." "Why now?" Wurim asked, suspicious. "Why after all these years?" "Because your father left something for you, Norah. An inheritance. Property. Investments. Assets your mother never claimed, because claiming them would mean admitting he was dead. I've been managing it in trust, waiting for you to come looking." He pulled out documents. "You're a very wealthy woman, Norah. Wealthy enough to build 100 therapy centers." Norah stared at the papers like they might bite. "My father. My whole life I thought he didn't want me, didn't love me enough to stay. And he was dead? My mother lied to me for 25 years? She was protecting you," Chief Okonkwo said gently. "From grief. From loss. From the pain that destroyed her. She thought it was kindness." "It was betrayal." Nora's voice rose. "She let me grow up thinking I wasn't enough to make him stay. Do you know what that does to a child? I spent my whole life afraid people would leave because my father left first. And he didn't leave. He died. She stole the truth from me." She was crying now, deep, wrenching sobs. Wurim held her while the old man watched with sad, knowing eyes. "Your mother loved you more than life," Chief Okonkwo said. "But love doesn't make us perfect. It just makes us try." A nurse rushed in. "Ms. Okoro, your blood pressure is spiking dangerously. You need to calm down, or we'll have to sedate you for the baby's safety." "The babies," Norah gasped. "Oh God, I'm hurting them again with my emotions. I can't keep doing this." "Then rest," Wurim said firmly. "Chief Okonkwo, thank you for coming. But she needs quiet now. Can we meet tomorrow?" "Of course, I'm staying at the Shilla Hotel. Call when you're ready." He stood, placed a hand on Nora's shoulder. "Your father would be so proud of you. The work you do. The woman you've become. I see him in you every day." He left. Norah lay back, trembling, one hand on her belly. "Nothing makes sense anymore. My whole life story was a lie. My father didn't abandon me. My mother wasn't the selfless martyr I thought. Who am I if everything I believed was wrong? Before Wurim could answer, his phone rang. His father from Lagos. We have a massive problem. The fire at your mother-in-law's house? It wasn't electrical. It was arson. Someone deliberately destroyed that property. And the permits for the therapy center? They're being blocked by the same person who owns the land next to the proposed site, a man named Adeyemi Okafor. He's demanding you sell him the land at 40% of value or he'll ensure the project never gets approval. Blackmail, Wurim said flatly. Yes. But here's the interesting part. Adeyemi Okafor is Chief Okonkwo's nephew, and he's been systematically acquiring property in that neighborhood for 5 years, including, I suspect, trying to force Norah to sell her mother's land by making it uninhabitable. Wurim looked at Norah, who was listening to every word. The chief just left. Didn't mention any of this. Because he's playing a longer game. The inheritance he's talking about? I had my lawyer's research. It's real, but accessing it requires Norah to sign over power of attorney to Chief Okonkwo temporarily for asset transfer purposes. Once he has that, he controls everything, including the land your center is supposed to be built on. It's a con, Wurim breathed. The whole thing. The inheritance story, the concern about her father. He's trying to steal her mother's property and block the center so his nephew can develop the area. Norah's face went white, then red with fury. That motherfucker. He sat here pretending to care about my father's memory while planning to steal from me? We can fight him, Wurim's father said. But it will take time and lawyers and money. The question is whether you want to fight or walk away. Build the center somewhere else in Lagos. Forget that particular location. That location is 3 blocks from my mother's church, Norah said coldly. It's where the kids who need this help live. I'm not walking away because some corrupt bastard wants to profit. We fight. Then I'll stay in Lagos, Wurim's father said. Coordinate with local lawyers, start the battle. But Wurim, Norah can't be stressed like this. Not with the pregnancy complications. You need to keep her calm and away from the situation. She's sitting right here. She heard everything. Good. Then she knows I'm right. His father's voice gentled. Norah, let me handle Lagos. You focus on those babies. Please. For them. Norah closed her eyes. Fine. But if you can't fix it, I'm getting on a plane myself. Pregnancy complications be damned. They hung up. The room fell quiet except for monitors beeping. Then Norah started laughing. Bitter, exhausted, slightly unhinged laughter. What's funny? Wurim asked carefully. Everything. All of it. My mother lied about my father. My father's friend is trying to rob me. One of my babies might have a heart defect. The other has your condition. Our centers are under attack. Christmas was 3 days ago, and I haven't even had time to process that we're engaged. It's so absurd, it's almost funny. Norah? No, really. What else can go wrong? Locusts? Meteor strike? Maybe Seoyun will show up and apologize, really complete the chaos. As if summoned by her words, the door opened. Wurim's mother stepped in, face pale. I'm so sorry to interrupt, but there's a woman downstairs demanding to see Wurim. Security won't let her up without permission. She says her name is Seoyun Park and it's an emergency. The room froze. Norah stopped laughing. Wurim felt reality tilt sideways. You've got to be kidding me, Norah whispered. I told security to send her away, but she's insisting. Says it's about Wurim's medical condition. Says there's something he needs to know before... His mother hesitated. Before you have children. Before we have children? Wurim's voice was ice. We're having children. It's happening. What could she possibly need to tell me now? I don't know. But son, she's pregnant too. Very pregnant. And she's claiming the father is someone you know. Norah's hand found Wurim's, gripped hard. Do you want to see her? Did he? The woman who'd humiliated him, who'd screamed his secret to 200 people, who'd walked away like he was contaminated? What could she possibly say that mattered now? But Norah was looking at him with trust despite everything, and he realized she was giving him permission to have closure, to face the ghosts that had haunted their whole relationship. 5 minutes, Wurim said. In the lobby, not up here. Norah doesn't need to see her. I'm coming with you, Norah said firmly. You're on bed rest. I'm coming. She doesn't get to ambush you. Not again. We face her together. They went down in the elevator, Norah still in her hospital gown, IV pole attached, belly obvious under the thin fabric. Wurim in rumpled clothes he'd been wearing for 2 days. Both exhausted, both furious, both ready. Seo-yun waited in the lobby, 8 months pregnant, wearing designer maternity wear that probably cost more than most people's cars. She looked exactly as Wurim remembered. Beautiful, cold, perfect. Her eyes widened seeing Norah's belly. You're pregnant too? Twins, Norah said flatly. What do you want? Seo-yun's composure cracked slightly. I came to apologize. And to warn you. 1 year too late for apologies, Wurim said. And warn us about what? About your condition. About genetics. About what I learned after I left. She took a shaky breath. I got married 4 months after our engagement ended. To a man I barely knew. I was angry and hurt and wanted to prove I could have a normal life. We got pregnant immediately. I thought it was a blessing. But the genetic testing showed something. Something the doctors said was impossible. What are you talking about? Norah demanded. Seo-yun looked directly at Wurim. The baby I'm carrying has your condition. The same anatomical variant. The same proportions. And Wurim, my husband couldn't be the father. The timeline doesn't match our relationship. Which means... She stopped. Wurim's brain struggled to process. Then, understanding hit like a freight train. We had been intimate, he breathed. Years ago, before we got engaged. You said it was impossible because we'd never completed. I lied, Seo-yun whispered. That night before Christmas, before the party. We were both drunk. You don't remember because you blacked out. But we did. And I got pregnant. And I couldn't tell you because I was so ashamed that I'd gotten pregnant from one time with you when I'd spent the party screaming that I couldn't be with you. The world spun. Norah made a sound like she'd been punched. Wurim couldn't breathe. You're saying, the baby I'm carrying is yours, Seo-yun said. And it has the condition. Which means you have 3 children, Wurim. Twins with her. She gestured at Norah. And 1 with me. All of them carrying complications. And I needed you to know before they're born because I can't do this alone. I can't raise a child with this condition without help. Without you. Norah turned and walked away. Not ran. She was too pregnant, too weak. But walked with devastating dignity back toward the elevators. Norah, wait. Wurim started after her. Don't, she said without turning. Don't follow me, I need to think. Please, let me explain. Explain what? That your ex-fiancé is having your baby? That you have 3 children, not 2? That everything just got infinitely more complicated? She stepped into the elevator, finally looked at him. Her face was blank. Emotions shut down completely. I need space. Hours, maybe days. I need to figure out if I can do this. Do what? Love you despite this. Raise twins while your other child exists with her. Build a life that includes 3 babies, 2 women, infinite complications. I need to know if I'm strong enough. The elevator doors closed. She was gone. Wurim turned to face Seo-yun, rage replacing shock. You couldn't tell me this before? Couldn't call, text, send a letter? You had to wait until now, until Norah's pregnancy is complicated, until everything is falling apart? I didn't know it was yours until last week. Seoyun was crying now. The genetic testing came back and they said the condition was hereditary, and my husband demanded paternity testing and… I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But Warim, I'm terrified. What if I can't love this baby? What if every time I look at them I remember the humiliation, the shame, everything I did to you? Then you're a coward, Warim said coldly. That child deserves better than a mother who resents their existence. They didn't choose this. None of them chose this. We did. With our choices and our fear and our inability to be honest. He walked away, leaving her crying in the lobby. Took the elevator back to the 4th floor, but Norah's room was empty. His mother stood in the hallway. She took her IV out herself, left. Said she needed air. Where? I don't know. She was crying. Son, what happened? Everything? Warim pulled out his phone, called Norah. No answer. Texted. Nothing. Called her aunt. Have you heard from Norah? No. Why? What's wrong? He explained in broken sentences, heard her sharp intake of breath. That poor girl. She's been through too much. Warim, if she loses these babies because of stress. Don't. He couldn't even think it. I'm going to find her. Call me if she contacts you. He searched everywhere. The hospital chapel, the cafeteria, the gardens. Nothing. Called her colleagues, her friends. No one had seen her. His phone rang. Unknown number. He answered desperately. Hello? Mr. Kim? A man's voice, professional. This is Officer Park from Seoul Metropolitan Police. We have a woman here at the Han River Bridge. She's standing at the railing. Someone called concerned she might jump. She won't give her name, but she's wearing a hospital gown and is obviously pregnant. She keeps saying something about needing everything to stop. Do you know anyone matching this description? Warim's blood turned to ice. I'm coming. Keep her there, please. I'm coming. He ran to his car, drove with a prayer on his lips he didn't know he remembered. The Han River Bridge glowed with lights, beautiful and terrible. Police cars blocked one lane. Officers stood at a distance from a figure at the railing. Norah, standing there in her hospital gown, belly enormous, hair wild in December wind, staring down at black water 40 feet below. Warim walked slowly, hands visible, heart in his throat. Norah. Love. Please step back. She didn't turn. It's too much. All of it. I can't. I don't know how to do this. So we'll figure it out. Together. Just step back first. Your baby. With her. How do I accept that? I don't know, but not like this. Please. Our twins need you. Minsu needs you. I need you. Please. What if I'm not strong enough? What if I can't love all of you? All of this complexity? Then we'll fail. But we'll fail alive. Together. Please. Norah, please come back to me. She turned finally, and her face was devastated but alive. Warim stepped forward, pulled her from the railing, held her while she shook. Police surrounded them. Ambulances arrived. They took her back to the hospital. Monitored the babies. Both still healthy. Still fighting. Dr. Park appeared. Norah, I need to tell you something. About the genetic testing. About twin A. She paused. We were wrong. There is no heart defect. The marker we saw. It's a variant, but not dangerous. Your baby is healthy. Different, but healthy. Both of them. Norah's voice was tiny. Both of them. You're having two healthy babies who happen to have some anatomical differences. Nothing incompatible with life. Nothing that can't be managed. Just differences. Norah started laughing and crying simultaneously. Warim held her while reality rearranged itself once more. His phone buzzed. His father. Lagos situation resolved. Charges filed against Adeyemi Okafor for arson. Property secured. Center approved. We won. Another text. The Busan contractor. Foundation approved by inspector. Breaking ground next week. Good news, finally. After everything, good news. But then, a final text from a number he didn't recognize. Mr. Kim, this is Seo-yoon's husband. We need to talk about the baby. About custody. About what happens next. Because my wife wants nothing to do with this child. She's planning to give it up for adoption. Unless you want it. You have 48 hours to decide if you're claiming your third child. Clock starts now. Wurim showed Norah the message. She read it, closed her eyes. Do you want it? She asked quietly. Your baby with her? I don't know. I don't know anything anymore except that I love you. Whatever we decide together. We have 48 hours. Yes. They sat in the hospital room as night fell over Seoul, holding each other while impossible questions swirled. 3 babies, 2 women, infinite complications. And somewhere in Lagos, a therapy center waited to be built. In Busan, another foundation ready to rise. But first, they had to decide, would they raise 3 children? Or 2? Would they open their lives to include Seo-yoon's baby? Or let that child go to strangers? 48 hours, Norah repeated, her hand on her belly where their twins grew. Where one child carried Wurim's condition, where one didn't. Where both deserved to be loved exactly as they were. The hospital clock ticked toward midnight. 47 hours and 59 minutes remaining. And in the distance, sirens wailed. Another emergency, another crisis, another life hanging in balance. The city never stopped. Neither would they. But what they would become, what family they would build, what impossible choice they would make, that story remained unwritten, suspended between heartbeats, waiting for dawn.